It has been about 3.5 years since I finally picked up my camera and started shooting photography, and there's been a lot of things that I've learned over the years about how to improve your craft and just how to get better at photography in general. Because when you get into this hobby, you may see all these really crazy Instagram posters and just insane photographers with tons of talent, and you really want to know how to get started in the field and just how to get some good basic tips underneath your belt so you can get a good head start and kind of develop your style and just improve your photography in general. So in today's video, we're going to be going over 5 quick, easy tips on how to improve your photography skills. For those who don't know me, my name is Jonah. I do videography for a living, and then I also do photography on the side as a hobby with cars and other things like that. I've done a wedding or two here and there, and I've helped get photo and video for others as well. So these are just 5 generalized rules that I kind of follow and try to implement in my daily photography skills to kind of improve them and learn new things, try new things, and just slowly get better over the years. And by no means am I some crazy professional with insanely high-end gear. I literally have one lens, one camera, and just a few accessories that like to kind of improve my photography skills in general. So the first step we're gonna be talking about today is learning the basics. Now, basics can basically be applied to a high-end camera, a budget camera, even an iPhone. I mean, depending on how involved you get in photography, this is such an important step because there are so many just basic things you need to learn when you are getting into photography. Now, I'm not gonna go in depth on all of them and what they mean, but the basics that I'm talking about are going to be like ISO, aperture, shutter speed, how to control your camera and the lighting and the exposure on it, learning to see how your camera develops pictures and how it takes pictures as well. So other broad things that I like to tell people to get down is things like the rule of thirds and how to compose your photo, composition, using the grid on your camera or your phone or anything like that, and being intentional with where you place things in your picture. That's a super important one that kind of sets your pictures apart from others, utilizing the full area rather than just the dead center of the actual frame. There's so many small things like that, and light metering. I can go on, but if you just look up basics to cameras and just basic guides on how to understand how to use your camera and how to use and compose an actual image, it'll go a long way in just getting a head start on your photography journey. The second point we're gonna be talking about is lighting and location. And these are actually 2 extremely important things that you need to understand whether you're shooting cars or doing engagement photos or a wedding, which sometimes cannot be really helped. But overall, lighting and location is going to completely make or break, or at least really help make or break a photo or a photo set, depending on where it's at and the time of the day. So it is so important to understand that if you're in the middle of the day, or if you're in like a parking lot at Cars and Coffee, or the sun's blaring down and it's just extremely hard to capture like darkness, lightness, and everything like that, it can really affect, especially on a lower end camera, the end result of your photos. If it's just unoptimal conditions in shooting, at the end of the day, it's going to be really hard to make a nice photo. It can still definitely be done, but it's just going to be really hard to do so. So just keep that in mind when you're out shooting or when you plan on shooting. If you can control it and you can find a good spot, because honestly, that's definitely going to be the biggest help in terms of your end result. Finding a good spot, finding the right amount of shade, finding the right amount of lighting, and where you can control the lighting to be, that will ultimately allow you to create a better image at the end without having to do as much editing and just a lot of work on the camera end of it as well. My third point whenever you're shooting is going to be height and angles. Now, this is definitely one of the ones that I've been trying to improve on myself over the last couple of years. Getting high up in weird areas, like standing on top of big boulders or rocks, getting really low to the ground, using reflections in water and things like that. Getting in areas that your eyes normally wouldn't be at, like getting really tall, getting really low, maybe angling it to the side, getting a different perspective on something, that is really going to create a more unique looking photo. Because at the end of the day, you can take a photo at your eye level, maybe a little crouched, and that's something that you would normally see. But when people are scrolling online or they see an image that they normally wouldn't see with their regular eyes, it really makes them stop and it makes them look at your picture. And I think it does just create a cooler look. I have done a lot of angled photography recently, and it's definitely something that I find really fun because, again, it's not something that I normally see. So definitely play around with those weird heights, angles, and positions because it'll definitely allow for more of a, I don't know, just a more unique photo. The fourth piece of advice I can give you: lens filters and accessories. These are going to be some of the best things you can invest in for a unique look, or just an essential, honestly. If you're shooting cars, you absolutely need a polarizer. This completely changes the way that light reflects off of a car. In some instances, you don't need it, especially if you're shooting at night, but if you're shooting in day, especially on dark colored cars, this is a complete game changer, and I think it makes the cars look a lot sharper. And in other situations as well, this will really help out your photography, especially if you have water involved. Just cutting out reflections with the polarizer is a huge help. Along with the polarizer, the other one that I use a lot is going to be the Cinebloom filter. This is basically just a mist diffusion filter or a mist filter, if you've ever heard of those. This is a huge help to my editing style because I actually really like those dreamy skies and photos. So adding that cinematic touch with a Cinebloom filter is a huge must and almost always run on my camera if I'm not using a polarizer. The Cinebloom filter is kind of one that I'll use every other time I'm not shooting a car. But if I'm shooting a car, it's usually going to have a polarizer on it to cut out the reflections. But the Cinebloom filter is a super cool. This one's from Moment. The fifth and final piece of advice I can give to you is editing importance. And what I mean by editing importance is just how important the editing process is for your end result. At the end of the day, a camera can do a lot of things, especially if you have a built-in filter or if you have a built-in LUT. For most cameras, minus the Fujifilms with their built-in LUTs, editing is extremely important because of the fact that you can really kind of tailor and customize your colors and just create your own kind of look, if that makes any sense, to your photography. And I think that's one of the big things that a lot of professional level photographers have is their style of photos. And that can be done by using editing software like Lightroom. It's extremely important to learn the software, learn how to layer and mask as well, learn how to color correct, learn how to add color grading and all kinds of stuff, kind of creating your own kind of vibe and maybe theme with a certain set that you're going for whenever you're shooting a set. Because ultimately, a more well-rounded, full collection of photos is going to look really nice and composed online. This also allows me to kind of play around with photos and stuff like that. So if I want to try out with maybe like a bit of a different color grading or something like that, I can usually take a set of photos and kind of stick to that and kind of create its own unique look. So I think editing is super fun and it's really fun to learn and kind of try things out and see what looks good, what doesn't. And it's even fun to maybe even see like someone that you like online and trying to replicate their style maybe and learning how to fully utilize the software you're given in a raw photo. So I can't emphasize enough how important editing software is, but again, it doesn't need to be important if you really don't like to go through that whole process. But to me, I think it really allows me to fully utilize and kind of bring to life the vision that I had for the shot when I was out there shooting it in the first place. So those are the top 5 beginner tips that I wish I would have been told whenever I started out photography. Again, it's easy to learn and it's easy to get a hang of it as you get going. My best piece of advice I can give you guys is just get out there, shoot, try things, learn new things, and fail a couple times. And the more you shoot, the better you're gonna get. That's just honestly the way that it goes. My old photos were not great, but they were okay. And I learned from them and I actually applied even the early photo shoots that I did to my new ones, and I would definitely do things differently. That's just kind of how it goes nowadays. But if you guys have any other tips and tricks on how to get started in photography or just tips on what beginners can like, drop them down in the comments below. We'd like to hear what you guys think. But thanks for watching to the end if you all did, and we'll see you guys next time. Peace.